The time of Passover had arrived, and Jesus wanted to celebrate it with his disciples in Jerusalem. Jesus sent Peter and John on ahead. "Go," he told them, "prepare for us to eat the Passover meal." "Where do you want us to prepare for it?" they asked. Jesus replied, "When you enter the city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him to the house he enters. Then say to the owner of the house, 'The teacher asks, where is the guest room? Where can I eat the Passover meal with my disciples?' He will show you a large upstairs room with furniture already in it." "Prepare for us to eat there." Peter and John found everything just as Jesus told them. And they prepared the Passover meal in the upper room. What did they eat that day? Well, the Passover meal was a very special meal to help them remember the time when God had saved them from slavery to the Egyptians and made them his own people. Each and everything they ate at the Passover meal helped them to remember this time. The bitter herbs reminded them how hard their life was in slavery. The bowls of salt water they dipped the herbs into reminded them of their tears as they cried out to God for help. A lamb that was sacrificed in the temple was roasted and eaten that night to remind the people how God had forgiven their sins. "The lamb died instead of us," they would say. Unleavened bread was eaten to remind them they had to leave Egypt quickly. And did not have time to let the bread rise. Wine was served, of course, because this was a joyful celebration of their freedom. God had brought them through the Red Sea and destroyed their enemy. All of these symbolic foods to help the Jewish people to remember each year the story of how God saved his people. As they gathered for the evening meal, Jesus knew that the time had come to leave this world and go to the Father. Jesus loved his disciples, and now he wished to show them the extent of his love. Jesus got up from the meal and took off his outer clothes. He wrapped a towel around his waist Dressed this way as a servant, Jesus poured water into a large bowl. Then he began to wash his disciples' feet and dry them with a towel that was wrapped around his waist. When Jesus came to Peter, Peter said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You don't realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." "No," said Peter, "you will never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you can't share life with me." "Lord," Peter replied, "then not just my feet. Wash my hands and my head too." When Jesus finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes. Then he returned to his place. "Do you understand what I have done for you?" he asked them. "You call me teacher and Lord. You are right. That is what I am. I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet. So you also should wash one another's feet. I have given you an example. You should do as I have done for you." Jesus said, "My children, I will be with you only a little longer. So a new command I give to you. Love one another, as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this, all men will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another."